This far this season, the Warriors have been able to, when teams let you stick around, they've been able to capitalize on that and turn games around and win games in the second half because they let them stick around. Again, I saw a little bit of it last night. 36-29 in the first quarter. It was slightly close. Both teams are playing well. Shot the same amount of threes. Made the same amount of threes. Didn't shoot the same amount of threes. The Warriors struggled a little bit from the free throw line, but they only went to the line for 8 free throws, which is not going to get it done, especially when you're a smaller team. You got to be able to get the points where you can get them at. And if you're not hitting from the outside, you got to attack. You got to draw fouls, get to the free throw line, and I know they can be a good free throw shooting team. But they didn't shoot well from the floor in general. Draymond Green, 1 of 7. Kelly Oubre had an awful game. He went back to being the Kelly Oubre that we saw very early in the season. 6 for 30. No, I'm sorry, that's the wrong person. 1 for 11 from the field. 0 for 5 from the 3-point line. He was forcing a lot of threes up again. I don't know why he just decided to revert back to that. He struggled with the 3 early in the season. Then he started to get his groove back when he started to put his head down and attack the basket. And then now he's going back to shooting threes. I'm not really sure what he's doing. Somebody's talking to him that shouldn't be talking to him. He goes 4 points. That's not going to do it. Curry was good. He shot 50% overall from the field and from 3, 5 of 10 from 3. He had 27 points. And then Wiggins was pretty good too. 50% from the 3 and 6 of 11 from the field. But just those two are not going to get it done against the Suns, who have the firepower to, like I said, against any team, they got the firepower to outscore you. They just get lazy with the lead. And but last night they turned it up. All 5 of their starters in double figures, led by Mikal Bridges with 20 points. Johnson 13. 8 and 12, Chris Paul 13, Crowder 16. When you're all 5 of your starters are in double digits, first of all, you guys are playing well, but also that was just a highlight of the Warriors are a smaller team and they kind of struggle at times to defend very well. And last night you could see that they were just having a hard time in the second half containing the Suns on all levels of the floor. And then also the Suns bench played very well. Kaminsky had 25 minutes and he gets 13 rebounds, 8 assists, and 12 points. And Nader goes for 16, 5 and 3. So they had guys in double figures off the bench as well. And it was just a rough night for the Warriors. Not a good night overall shooting, free throw line, or just overall shooting from the floor. I saw a little bit, like I said, I saw the drop off with the Suns in the first half. It goes 36 points in the first, down to 16 in the second quarter. But the Warriors only had 18 in the second quarter, and they weren't really able to get anything going. And that was the difference. And in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, the Suns played back up to their level because they saw that they still had a good. It wasn't a close game again, but. They saw the Warriors in other games come back. I think they kind of got it and they started to hit and they were heating up, and then it was just a wrap in the second half. So the Suns took that game against the Warriors have been pretty good this year in spurts. So it was only 4 games last night, but it is Friday. It's Friday, right? Yeah, it is Friday. So, let's hop over here. We got player of the night. I'm sorry, that's my dog. I gotta walk him in a second after this session. You know what? I'm gonna have to give it to this guy right here. I didn't think I'd be putting him up on the player of the day board anytime this year. But, I think last night he did deserve it. Let's go with the lights again. What is he? 23, 6 and 3. I'm going with my boy Blake Griffin. I didn't think I'd put him up on the board at all this year, just because he's looked like he took a step back. He was just playing bad, and last night he turned it around. Looked like he kind of rise to the challenge of playing against LeBron. He goes 23 points, 50% from 3-point line, 5 of 10, 8 of 16 from the field goal, from the field, 50% all over, 100% from the free throw line, 6 assists. I mean, he was doing it all last night, and they needed that against a team like the Lakers. Even without AD, the Lakers are still a good team. They did just win the championship with most of those same guys. They had a couple new guys, but that's the Lakers, and people get up for that game, and they got up there for that game last night. So I think player of the game of the day goes to Blake Griffin. And then we're going to go player of the week. Let's go. Player of the week. Geez, the Jazz are on a 10-game win streak. Oh, buddy. Woo! You know what? The way that the way that they've been playing. What's that right there? Oh, I don't know what I just pressed. The way that they've been playing, I think they played a couple games this week. But I think that with the new team, the guys that he has on his team, for him to take a new role, still be pretty much, he's going to end up leading the league in assists, still scoring, 25 plus. He's orchestrating, and for me, he just been so dominant this week against every game. They're on a 3-game win streak. They're up to 4th now in the East, and it's not easy playing with 2 other great players, but he's been making it look easy. And I think the player of the week so far, for this week, for me, is gonna be Mr. James Harden. And like I said, he's just been playing out of his mind so far. Really in every game so far that he's been with the Nets, he's just been playing a good role. He's double-digit assists, 25 plus a game. He's rebounding. They're still trying to figure out the closing situations, but in a couple times, all 3 of them are missing shots. But in a couple games, he hit some big shots, made some big plays, and I think this week he's been playing the best basketball of anybody so far. So James Harden is the player of the week for the week of January 29. MVP race. I have to keep Embiid up there because he's playing very, very well. I have to keep Embiid up there. I have to probably keep, I'd say, Kawhi up there. But this other guy is just after that last night's game, it just made me a little. I'm gonna throw up another name, and you know, this is hard, but cause I'm kind of bouncing between two guys right now. But I think that if we go, if we look at success, let's look at the team success, and let's look at the steady improvement. And last night, it did it for me last night. I'm gonna have to take him off the board. Because I think this guy deserves it a little more. And it's Nikola Jokic. And he deserves to be up there. The Nuggets are now 4th in the West, 5-game win streak. He's been unbelievable, unstoppable when it's time to make a big shot. He assists the ball at a high rate. He rebounds the ball. I mean, he's just. I mean, every year so far, and this year so far too, he's been talked about. He's either the best or the second best center, depending on what kind of style of game you like for your center. He's either the best or the second best in the league. And, take him out, they're probably, down below like 10, 11, 12. But because of him, they're in a 5-game win streak, 4th in the West. And, he's very